Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to video message number 29.
The Beezer.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
We got a call about lewd behavior on the boardwalk, and you the only thing I see around here that could qualify.
How is this? I'm not lewd at all. I don't even know what. Lube or lewd?
Oh, that's nice.
Listen up, the ratings just came in for last month. We are number one. We just grabbed every key demographic. Super duper, gang. Wow. Super duper. That's nice. Way to go. Neato, gang.
Yes.
Boy, that is good news.
It is the 11th day of November 2024. It is Veterans Day, 11/11. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Monday on the Power Trip Morning Show. The Vikings won. Yeah, they did. I know. But they won. We've got a big show. We are back from Jack. Let's see. Ben will be here and Muss will be here. And the cast of thousands. Later in the show, we're going to have 3 veterans join the Power Trip Morning Show. The final segment, and then we'll go right into the podcast room, and I'll be recording an interview with those 3 veterans about their time, 2 of them fighting the Vietnam War and 1 of them fighting in Iraq. And we'll talk to them and release that as a podcast later on today to make sure that we all do not forget the men and women who have put their lives on the line for us. So lots to get to on today's show. Why would we wait another second? Here's Bill Burr. Here's Bill Burr. Here is Bill Burr from Saturday Night Live. Doing some comedy on a Monday morning on the Power Trip Morning Show. Now you come on in. I'm glad you're here.
You ever fall asleep like watching TV? You like leave it on, and you wake up at 3 in the morning and whatever you're watching makes you feel like you're still dreaming. Yeah, I woke up at 3 in the morning. I swear to God, Shaquille O'Neal was selling me printer ink. Standing there 7 feet tall. Hi, I'm Shaquille O'Neal. Are you paying too much money for your printer ink? Every day, people come up to me and they say, I'm paying too much money for my printer. He's holding a printer. It's like the size of a cell phone. People come up to me. I'm paying too much money. And I'm like, well, I have the solution. Dude, is there no end to that guy's credibility? I thought when he was selling Buicks, that was the end of it. It's laying in that little car, the mid-sized Buick Century. This is the most comfortable car I have ever been in. He's got 1 foot out one window, the other foot out the other. If I was regular size, this is the car I would buy. It blows my mind. Doesn't he even have like $1 billion at this point? It's like, why are you still working? Take a weekend off, you 9-foot whore. Give somebody else a chance.
The finish line is waiting. Fate is on your side. You hear the distant thunder.
Do you guys think they switched it to Parker Romo because John Parker Romo sounds like a serial killer?
Yeah, I can see that. Why not go with JP?
JP Romo's okay. John Romo's fine.
Yeah.
I guess it's Parker Romo, though. He scored all the points. All of the points, all 12. 12-7. You just said it. A win's a win. A weird one, but a win nonetheless.
Hell of an effort by the defense. They played really well. Somebody had to.
5 interceptions by the quarterbacks. No touchdowns. Mac Jones ran one in. That was all the points for the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Vikings are 7-2.
Hell yeah, man.
Let's go.
We thought maybe we'd gain a little ground, but Detroit found a way to win with their guy throwing 5 picks. A lot of parallels with that game last night. There's only one winner, Zach. Yes, there is.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Why you sound sad? No, just I completely lost my voice on Saturday. So screaming too loud? No, just
I think we know.
You know.
You gotta stop, Zach.
Never. Doing that again? No, it's not. Are you sure? You can never be totally sure, but I would gather it's probably not that.
Did you guys know Zach's penis is in the Guinness Book of World Records?
How?
Hey.
Hey. Morning. No, I did not.
Well, it was, and then they made him leave the library.
Brilliant. Zach, get your wiener out of that book. I'm a big long fingernail guy.
Ew. God, that grosses me out.
That picture's
That ruined
disgusting.
the whole show. The show's over. I can't do it anymore. That ruined the whole show.
Zach, how often do you frequent libraries?
Or parks.
I was in one a couple months ago.
For what?
I had to print off something.
What?
And it's a very quick and easy, cheap way to print off something.
So you don't have a printer at home?
So my buddy Chad.
Are Kinko's still a thing? Is that still a thing? So you didn't go to Kinko's, if that's even still a thing.
Cheaper.
You went straight to the library.
For some reason, I remember my library card number from 20 years ago. What? So I'm able to just go in, I type in my library card number and my PIN, and then I hit print. I throw a 5 in the thing. It's not
5?
that. Well, again, it's whatever. I want to be nice. They're providing a nice service.
Why don't you just drive here and print it?
What did you want to print out?
The program for the wedding for my buddy that I was doing.
There's a program?
Well, like just like what I was going to say. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
The speech itself.
Yeah.
Got it.
So,
It's only one printer.
Yeah.
Take it to the top.
Libraries are sweet, man.
Actually, they have
I
a
like
color
this
and a black and white. It's kind of cool.
Oh, hey.
Multiple
God
printers.
bless us all.
Yeah.
I'm so pissed right now.
Why?
I just opened Google News. Not one, but 2 articles told me a giant plot spoiler from Yellowstone last night. And I haven't had a chance to watch it. 2 articles, headline, giant plot spoiler.
Did you see, somebody tweeted at you and Sauce last
Something
night.
about our whiners.
No.
Something about Yellowstone?
I want to find this.
There's only one whiner.
At Stark Simpleton 1, Crystal K, apparently.
Okay.
Can we please have a segment where Meat Sauce and Hockey break down the hate watching on Yellowstone? 5 minutes in, and I'm laughing hysterically.
Is that bad?
That person thought it was hilarious 5 minutes in. Then you're done with it, though, right?
Yeah, I haven't watched
You're
it in
out,
years.
but Chris is still in.
And Kevin Costner isn't even in it anymore.
Now,
Have they explained
that's
why?
Exactly what I'm talking about. You S of a B.
No, that's like, that's not, but that's been like not national news, but that everybody knows that.
No, not everybody did. Some of us were avoiding all news. So we could watch the damn show.
But I don't think it was a show thing. I think
Never
it was
mind,
like
superstar.
like a contract thing. I don't think it is any. I don't think he was like murdered. I think it's just because didn't he like sleep with somebody off set or something?
But I guess what Chris is saying, and I didn't know this. Did they go Kevin Spacey on it and just make him disappear essentially out of the plot, just like
no, that I don't know.
That terrible final season of House of Cards, where all of a sudden the main character is just gone. And you're like, well, that was fun.
Yeah, see,
Where'd
that I
that
don't
guy
know.
go?
But I thought he quit the show.
Yeah.
I think didn't they have to convince him to come back?
Way to go, Sauce. You ruined it.
Well, Google ruined it first.
I didn't know. Now I know.
Yeah, knowing's half the battle. Kevin?
The other part of the battle is I should have just watched it when I got home last night, but I was sick of the whole wide world when I got home last night.
Why?
What time did you get home?
About 9:15 or so.
That's not terrible.
Yeah.
No, it's not terrible. It's not terrible, Corey. It's not terrible. But let me tell you what is terrible. That hellhole they call Jacksonville.
Yeah, I love your rant on the air.
That place is the underside of a porta potty toilet seat on July 4th in Washington, D.C., just after the 4th of July fireworks, before they've had a chance to go in there and suck the turds out of there.
Oh, my God. That bad?
Yeah, it's bad.
Sounds like if you needed any pregame prep, it would have been easier just to go to the local libriary and print it off with your library
I don't
card.
think they allow libraries in Jacksonville.
That checks out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over there and burn that whole building down because ain't a book in there don't suck. That was my impression of a Jacksonville person.
It's what they get for not having income tax. Terrible state, terrible schools, terrible teams, terrible stadiums. Good luck with that. It's a hellhole. The whole state's a hellhole. It doesn't surprise me that the stadium is.
They're supposedly we're adding $1 billion into the stadium very soon, if not already. You guys hear about that?
Well, yeah, they're starting to charge the media members to print off all kind of like press releases, and they're going to take that money and then reinvest it into the stadium.
The guy told Hockey, "You can take a picture of it off my phone."
Yeah. So every game there's a list of what time things are happening, so we can get everything to make sure that we're back by the time the ball is kicked off. And so they give me a list of stuff when I walk in the stadium, and I look through my list of my stack of stuff and realize there's like 2 little sheets of paper. I'm like, well, I don't see the timing sheet. So I walk over to the gentleman sitting at his desk and I say, hey, could I get a copy of the timing sheet? And he goes, you want your own copy? And I was like, well, yeah. And he goes, and he looked around. He's sitting at his computer screen cord, and he goes like this. He goes, computer's right here, and he's sitting here, and he goes like this. He looks around as if it's going to appear, like Harry Potter's going to make it happen.
Like a magical sheet is going to appear if he just looks to. Maybe I've just never seen it. It's 4 feet from my face.
Left, right, and then
up,
he spins
down,
around.
BA,
and he goes,
select, start.
Do you want to just take a picture of my computer screen? I said, well, sure.
Why don't you just take a picture?
I'm like, the hell is going on? You don't have paper? There's no paper? What is this, iHeartRadio?
Oh, man. Do you remember that when we were asking for paper? And then, was it Fargo?
Yeah. No,
Fargo
it was
or Detroit Lakes. Detroit Lakes brought us a bunch of paper because we were basically saying we were told we can't print anymore. Yeah. That we were going to have to go to White Bear Lake's local library.
Yeah.
Print
Nice
it all
one.
off.
Which seems like it's way out of the way.
It really is.
It's right in downtown. Beautiful.
Oh, you're
down.
so emotional.
Yeah.
Gosh, dude, I had no idea.
You got to stop going to public parks.
You really do.
Well, it's too bad the stadium sucks because that game sucked too. But obviously, we'll take the win, right?
Yeah, we'll take that win.
I mean,
we'll take the win.
We'll take that win.
Jesus.
Oh, I'm so glad you're praying now.
Yeah.
This is
and
a big
also with
thing.
you. And also with you,
I
Corey.
didn't think the game was that bad, but
Right.
It made me find God.
Wow, where was he?
In the press box in Jacksonville. I guess he was getting harassed by some guy that wanted some timesheet, and the guy was a saint. Man, if we had not won that game yesterday, do you think the season vibe of Darnold would be in trouble?
Yeah. What's he throwing? 6 interceptions in 2 games?
Yeah. And there were a couple, of course, yesterday that without a flag or so, it could have been 4 or 5. He could have been in Goff territory. And, Hawk, I heard you say it at halftime, and a lot of people were saying it on Twitter. He seemed to just say, I'm throwing it to Justin no matter what.
Yeah.
And there are times that, look, that's a good idea. But if it's not there, you can't just do it just to do it. And, man, he seemed to just go in Madden mode and say, well, I'm just going to line him up 4 wide and toss it to Randy Moss no matter what. It felt like the old Randy ratio where Sam Darnold had already decided before the ball was snapped, this one's going to Justin. We got to get Justin involved.
Yeah.
Well, not if he's not open. That could have been really bad. You can't lose to the Jags. You can't lose to the Jags with a backup quarterback. And they almost did. But, Sauce, you already said it. Shout out to the defense. I know KOC in the locker room after the game basically said, right, this one's on the defense.
Yeah.
And a kid that wasn't here a week ago. Right, even though I heard KOC say in the pregame with PA, if they had not drafted Will Reichard, John Parker Roma was probably going to be our kicker this year anyway, right? And he did the old, well, this is the kid we had faith in. This is the kid we believed he could do it, but we had a chance at getting Will Reichard in the draft, so we took it. So,
great kid.
John Parker.
Yeah,
you talking about Romo?
Yeah, we talked to him after the game.
Oh,
really
sweet.
good kid. Just a normal looking dude, man. Like most kickers are, but really just a kid. And the look on his face was like, this is the greatest day of my life.
Yeah, he scored all 12 points and won the game.
It was so cool. And I was thinking to myself as we're standing there talking to him, I hope he just made himself a couple $1 million. I hope that this gives him a career in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know, it'll definitely give him a shot at a roster once we're done with him, right? Don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then as I'm standing getting ready to get on the plane last night, I look over and there's our new long snapper. And he's like my age. He's been in the league forever.
Yeah, what did we say the other? He's 36 or something, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And I walked over, I go, man, I don't know how you do what you do, but well done today. And we had a great conversation, he and I and Pete, as we were getting onto the plane. And it's like, you know, last week this time, he wasn't in the league.
Yeah.
Right? And here he is. And Ben asked him about Heath Farwell, who was a coach in Jacksonville, who we saw yesterday.
Heath Wales.
And he's like, yeah, I played against Heath. And he started naming off the teams he'd played for and where he'd been. And I'm like, wow. Just to, you know.
You're old.
Yeah. And
you've been in this league way too long, buddy.
And again, he thought he was done. And now, he's making money again. And that's, however many years he was in the league. That's a lot of money. That's a veteran minimum.
It's a great game check.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
And it's not as easy as people think, right? If Jake McQuaid and John Parker Romo miss a bunch of kicks yesterday, Debo Samuel might punch them in the face.
That's a good point, yeah.
So you got to make these kicks or your teammates will hit you.
Wow. Yeah.
That's one of the weirdest things I've seen in a while.
You know, people are spoiling to hit people.
It would be fun.
What, to hit somebody?
Yeah, just once. I haven't punched anybody since I was like 10.
Yeah, don't you want to hit the Golden Bachelor right in his mouth?
Punch?
The Golden Bachelor?
Yeah.
What'd that old son of a bitch do?
God, he's tearing that old stuff up.
It's got you jealous a little bit.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, man.
I do hate the game as well. He's not a very good rapper.
Go punch the producer in the face then.
The game's a rapper, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, it's
Corey.
not the first time you've referenced the game. How do you know?
How do you know
How
the
do you
game?
know about the game?
I don't know. I like him and TMX.
TMX.
Yeah, they're
The ones
great
that do
sound
the
effects.
sound, yeah.
TMX.
Isn't it?
Harvey Levin?
I like Run TMC.
Yeah, DMX.
DMX.
See, Zach, you made a joke about Run DMC, but you forget that Run TMC was actually a nickname of the Golden State Warriors. You don't remember that?
T-Mac?
Sauce remembers that.
Was that with
Run TMC?
Yeah, that was
Mitch
with,
Richmond.
Yeah, Mitch Richmond. Yeah.
Tim Hardaway and Chris Mullen.
Yep.
He was also a NASCAR driver, Mitch Richmond.
Yes.
It does sound like it
Yeah,
should be.
it does. Yeah.
Got his own track.
Mitch could play, man.
Yeah.
Tim Hardaway,
Richmond
Senior.
was great.
Hardaway Senior was awesome.
Got to do it the Hardaway.
Said some slurs, but still.
Hey, you know
hell of a
what?
basketball player.
He likes what he likes.
Play some Dr. Trey.
I'd like to.
There we go. There we go. That one works.
Yeah, that's
I'll do it because it sounds like you're dying, and I want to grade your last week.
Right.
All right.
That's the first segment of the show right there.
Yeah, I don't know if they want this one, Paul.
Yes, they do. And it was brought to you by my great friends at Gutter Helmet of MN, gutterhelmetmn.com. Never clean your gutters again.
Wait till you hear what Mike Grimm said. Have you guys heard about this?
No. The line or a different line?
Oh, he tried.
Yeah, I heard it live.
Oh, really? It didn't work?
Wait till you hear.
Oh, I can't wait. I have not even heard about this yet.
Oh, wait till you hear it.
Grimmer should be here shortly. Ben Lever, Mike Mussman. This is the Power Show Morning Show on the Fan.
Join us in the Power Hour at 8 a.m.
Come on, do it, baby.
Max, I think we're going to have to have you read this.
Max, will you please,
I got you, Zach.
Quantum Fiber Unleashed.
Max, will you please read this for me?
When did you stop smoking cigarettes?
I haven't ever stopped smoking cigarettes. I like it too much. I now smoke it through the hole in my neck.
Yeah,
Zach, do you listen to that band Cigarettes After Sex?
Sure, and then I smoke doobies.
Oh.
Lots of doobies. I smoke them through the hole in my neck. Because I like doobies.
Zach, I don't know why I'm about to ask you this question, but I already started, so I can't stop now.
Please go ahead. I'll answer anything. I'm an open book.
Would you be pro or anti having a hole in your neck?
Well, here's the thing. I'm pro it, but I'm worried because I know how I am. And it's going to be a gaper pretty quick like.
Oh, my God.
It's going to be gaping. It's going to be gaping wide open. It's going to be like a Tom Petty song.
I believe at 5:53 in the morning, A Gaper is the front runner for the title of the podcast.
Yeah, I feel bad about it. I'm walking around scaring kids with this giant cave in my face.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. And what was that liner? What's happening now? Is there some contest or is there an event or something? What was the deal? Are we giving away tickets? What was that all about?
The Power Hour?
Oh, yeah, it was Power Hour. Okay. We were too busy laughing at the way
KFAN.com/watch.
Power Hour.
Fiber.
Yeah,
it is an absolute mess.
8 a.m.
I feel like at the end of every show, from now on, every day, we all need to say goodbye to everybody.
Just in case?
Just in case.
Yeah. Probably good advice.
You know?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it'd be bad, like, to not get a chance to say goodbye to everybody.
Right, and they're never going to let you do that.
No. They escort you out here like a criminal.
Yeah.
Sometimes not right away.
What? What?
So I'm going to say at the end of every show, because I say I'm glad you're here.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of every show, I'll say, well, see you later.
Or you should say, I'm glad I was here.
Yeah, and I am. That's a good point. Cool.
Because
we had a great run.
We have had a good run.
We really have.
So if today's the last day, then pretty good run.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm glad I was here.
Yes. Same. I'd miss it terribly. What? Yeah.
I want to thank you guys. You're the best.
Yeah, we want to thank you too, sir.
I hope you don't die before
I'm glad I got to grow old on this job.
COPD's a bitch.
Just over the weekend.
Yeah. What is going on?
So, Sauce, you get let go today.
Oh, devastating.
The four of us get lunch and talk about it.
Yeah.
But what do you do tomorrow?
That's a really good question. I'd probably cry.
No, that would be today.
I'd cry tomorrow, too. I'd be devastated.
If you want to come by our lunch, we have champagne.
Yeah.
Who paid for it?
Hawk, of course.
You bought champagne.
I bought some champagne.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's just the stripper's name.
He got us Cristal like
So if I got
TMX.
If I got laid off, you guys would celebrate by going to a strip club? Hawk?
We make our own.
With who?
There's a lot of people that don't have jobs right now who are willing to strip for money.
Okay. Oh, no. That guy fell. Oh.
He's new at the job.
Luckily, college is still very expensive.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. I don't know what I would do. I mean, I'd sleep for a couple days.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, who needs an old man who tells fart jokes?
Right.
Yes.
That sounds like a pretty good opportunity for kids' birthday parties, right? You just got to put on some clown makeup and then
Or
tell
just
some
dress
fart
like I do
jokes.
now.
Sure.
Hey, kids, what do you call a magician without magic? Ian. I don't know.
Oh.
I get that.
That's pretty good.
You get that, Sauce?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yesterday, kids, I saw a guy spill all his Scrabble letters on the road. I asked him, what's the word on the street?
Brilliant.
Hey, kids, did you hear about the corduroy pillows? They're making headlines. Hey, kids, where the bumblebees go to take a fish?
Fish?
The BP station. That's right.
Oh, that's good.
Are you looking at your phone the entire time?
I think the kids have left the room.
That's what stand-ups get to do. Why can't a clown do that?
Hey, kids. How's a rabbi make his coffee? He brews it.
Oh, my.
That's pretty good.
Thanks. Don't comedy critique me, Dad. How was your shower yesterday for your kid?
It was great.
It was a baby shower, right?
Yeah, it was great.
How'd you get the nozzle up there?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. My God. You got off the air and I didn't even come back with it. Wow. He's trying to get fired today.
Hi, Mike Grimm.
What did I just walk in on?
Well, no,
I'm auditioning.
we're doing the new thing, too, now, where if it's our last day here, we're going to say thank you and goodbye to everybody just in case.
Gotcha.
Would you like to, in case your run's over?
It could be. Who knows? Yeah, thanks for everything. It's just been awesome.
I mean, think about it. Like, if you say the C-bomb in the next 5 seconds and we don't dump it, your career's over.
Maybe.
Hey, Mike.
I think I'd
What
survive
do you mean?
that.
You think Learfield would be cool with you dropping a
Why are you
C-bomb?
saying the C-bomb?
I think I could get away with it once.
I bet you thought about saying the C-bomb on Saturday.
I bet you did.
Hey, Mike
That
Grimm.
game was
Yes,
a
sir.
C-bomb.
Can I introduce you to my stepladder?
Yes.
I never knew my real ladder.
Oh, my God. Hogs.
Did you? Were you at a restaurant that had these jokes on a placemat or something?
No, I'm making these up top of my head.
Yeah, nice. You're a comedic genius.
Man, I missed that part of growing up.
Yeah.
Restaurant placemats and fun games and puzzles
you could play
and
games. There
word
were songs
finds.
on there.
Yeah.
The
Riddles.
Zodiac symbols on them.
Yeah. Man. Now there's just QR codes.
That
you
totally
scan.
sounded like a joke off of a placemat.
Sure.
Nope, just made it up.
You just had it. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
top of my head. It's what I
Beautiful.
My dad.
Maybe you should produce placemats.
do. Maybe I should.
Side hustle.
Like this one. Like, how do you find Will Smith in the snow?
Oh, man. I don't know.
You follow the Fresh Prince.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Did you really write that one?
Just now. Top of my head.
Do another one.
You are a genius.
Let me think of something funny.
Sauce, you do one.
Okay. Let me see.
My grandpa always said, when one door closes, another one opens. He's a terrible carpenter.
Oh. That's pretty good.
There was a king once, Sauce, who was a great ruler.
Yeah.
Terrible king. Shoot. I blew that one. Hold on, I'm making it up on the fly. Rewind it, start again. There was a king once who was only 12 inches tall. Terrible king, but a great ruler.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sauce, you do one.
You're supposed to say me do one.
Me do one?
I got stuck in an elevator a minute ago. From now on, I'm going to take steps to avoid them.
Very nice.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
Who won the neck decorating contest?
Pearl.
It was a tie.
I like Pearl. You just come up with that one, too?
Yeah. Hockey's actually sending them to me. Wow,
Rosie.
Why is that so funny?
That killed Rose.
Rosie loved that one.
I would say you came up with that off the top of your head, but you would need a Sherpa to get to the top of that head.
Yeah, great point. There's so many dead bodies.
Wow. How?
Hi.
What's up, man?
Can a frog jump higher than a house? Of course, a house can't jump.
Oh.
Rosie?
Sorry, it takes him a minute for the sound to get to his ears.
It took him a minute just to understand it. And then
Yeah.
once he
Peed his
got it,
pants.
Yeah.
Late reaction.
Had nothing to do
Rosie.
with the joke. He's just old.
Yeah.
No.
Remember a couple of months ago we were thinking about going 6 to 9 instead of 5:30 to 9.
Yeah.
And the feedback from a lot of the fans was like, that first half hour is sometimes my favorite half hour.
Sure.
Maybe not always.
You don't think today is a classic example of that?
I mean, it's not bad. That's how bad the Vikings game was. It was super boring. I mean, we got away with a win. We'll take it, but geez, that would have been a terrible loss. A little bit like the Gophers on Saturday.
Yeah.
That was a bad loss.
Yeah. Yep.
Man, I can't believe they let Ethan beat us.
Yeah, that was a
Very
disappointing,
frustrating.
disheartening game. No
Mike
question.
Grimm,
Yes.
I had a buddy who was attending a funeral. And he said to the widow, "Do you mind if I say a word?" She says, "Go ahead." He says, "Plethora." "Thank you," she said. "That means a lot."
Front Page Sports when we get back, and we'll hear what Mike Grimm did when it comes to the line on Saturday against Rutgers. This is the Power 2 Morning Show on the
That's a
Fan.
great joke. I don't care.
The Fan.
Hey, everybody. 6:06 on Monday, Veterans Day. Power Trip Morning Show. Mike Grimm's over there.
It's 11:11, right? So this is when we used to be able to play music. We would have played Dinosaur Pileup. That song kind of kicks ass.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I know, Sauce.
Sorry.
Still one of the all-time great names for a band, too.
Yeah.
Dinosaur Pileup. So cool. Remember how dumb it was, the movie King Kong, when they had those dinosaur pileups? Where, like, somehow Jack Black and everybody's just running through this giant stampede of mega dinosaurs and nobody's getting stepped on. At least not the famous people.
Yeah, everybody else.
Man, that movie. It wasn't terrible, but there's a couple of scenes you're like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
Top 5 film all time.
Yeah, Hawk loved it.
Loved it.
Well, King Kong versus Godzilla is amazing.
You love that movie.
Yeah, Hawk, how good is that?
It's great. I love when they make love.
All right, let's get to Front Page Sports because we got to talk about Saturday.
Front Page Sports, presented by Holiday Station Stores.
Yeah, thanks, Holiday. At Holiday, Red Bull, 8.4 ounces. You can buy 3 for $6.50. Mix and match any 8.5 ounce Red Bulls. Get 3 for just $6.50 at Red Bull. Get boosted, or sorry, at Holiday, Red Bull. Get boosted. Go get their sweet ass Red Bull deal this morning. Thanks, Holiday.
Thank you, Holiday.
All right, the Vikings did what the Vikings did. We'll talk about that in a second. And obviously, Lieber's going to be here in 20 minutes. Let's go back to Saturday, though. The Gophers had won 4 straight. Rutgers had lost 4 straight. Former Gopher quarterback Ethan Kaliakmanis slinging it for Rutgers. Jack Collinsworth on the TV call. Sauce was thrilled about that.
I saw some folks on social media suggest. I haven't watched the replay yet. Suggested it wasn't the greatest example of sports broadcasting in the history of the world. But
Sauce?
It was horrible. But there were multiple moments where, like, and maybe it's just because they don't get any reps or whatever it is. I get that. But there'd be a penalty, and they were just talking over the referee. And it's like, I know, like, most of us who have watched football for years, it was just not good. Yeah. And he's gone from the Notre Dame job to now, like, I don't know. And then they have Noah Eagle doing the Notre Dame game, and he's a 10 out of. He's great.
He's awesome. He's
Jack
like 26.
Collinsworth is brutally bad.
Jack? Jack, yeah, J-A-C. And on Saturday, with that exact spelling, Sauce tweeted, "Has Jack Collinsworth ever watched college football?"
Because there were multiple moments where you're like, you should know that, and like he didn't. Yeah. And then where the kid caught the ball and then kind of the momentum took him into the end zone, kind of like we had yesterday. He I didn't know that rule, right? I didn't, but like they wouldn't let the referee explain it because they were just talking throughout.
On Saturday, Sauce tweeted, "This crew on NBC is brutal. Talking over the refs, just bad."
Yeah, they were terrible.
Yeah, you don't want to talk over the refs.
On Saturday, Sauce tweeted, "Ethan is terrible."
That was right after he threw an interception. But I also praised him a bunch.
You also tweeted, "If Ethan played the Gophers every week, Corey Cove and I would owe Tommy Olsen a ton of money."
That's probably true.
On Saturday, you put up a poll and said, "What's worse, Jack Collinsworth, the Gophers defense, or who watches Happy's Place?"
Was that one of the promos?
He watches it, right, Hawk?
It's really
what
good.
is it called?
Have you seen it? It's called Happy's Place.
It's with Reba.
Yeah, she's great.
I have seen the promo.
Yeah,
he loves that. That's the name of the show?
Yeah.
It's on Fridays.
Is it a remake of the old Reba show, or is it a whole new show?
It's a show about baby makers.
Hawk loves it.
What went wrong?
The Happy Makers?
Whoa.
Yeah, to start with that. Sometimes stuff happens, but I don't know for sure because the bye week helped a little for Rutgers. They got a guy healthy, 2 guys healthy. They had been missing like up to 6 on the defense and given up just a boatload of yards. I mean, Wisconsin put 550 yards on them. Washington put like 513 on them. UCLA and USC put a bunch of yards on them. So I don't know why Minnesota's offense couldn't. I thought the defense was great, good enough to win. In the first half, they were okay. They gave up a bunch of 50-50 balls. Like Ethan was not pinpoint, but he got 4 or 5 explosive plays where he just literally threw the ball up in the air down the sideline
and the Gopher defenders either didn't see it or didn't defend it. There was one long play where, it was probably offensive pass interference. Wally just kind of got dispatched. And that was a whole nother thing. I don't, the Big Ten refs, what they allow and what they don't within the same game on the hand fighting and all that stuff with the
he
refs.
100% pushed off.
100%.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that unobvious. Like, I know you let a lot of that go, but that was, like, he's positioned for the interception. And he just got chucked away. And then they got the Gophers on 2 interference calls that were okay, fine, if you're going to call that, but there was probably 2 or 3 on the other side. That's not why they lost. I'm just suggesting this is an accumulation of things. So they threw up a bunch of jump balls. In the first half, they got him. He was like 14 for 20 in the first half, and then like 1 for his first 10 or 11 in the second half. No good at all. Gophers, I thought, okay, we're on the way here when they scored on the opening drive of the second half. If you watch the UCLA and USC games against Rutgers, all kinds of yards after catch, and they threw a bunch of passes in the flats to the running backs in those 2 games, and the running backs just ran away from them. Well, the Gophers got a touchdown on that play, and I'm like, okay, finally they hit that play that USC and UCLA have been going. They'll run it again, and they never ran it again. So I don't fully understand it. The most disheartening part about the loss, I think, Corey, is the Gophers were in position to really spot themselves a good bowl game. Iowa lost the night before. They have a head-to-head win against Illinois, talking about Minnesota now. And if Minnesota wins, because right now it looks like 4 teams are going to make the playoffs out of the Big Ten if everything holds serve. I thought forever it'd be 3, but it's going to be 4. The Big 12's only going to get 1. The ACC's probably only going to get 1. So 4 teams get in. So that means the 5th team and the 6th team in the Big Ten are going to go to the Florida games, the Citrus Bowl and the Tampa Bowl. That's where you want to go. Next in line is Charlotte. Next in line is Nashville. Not bad. Next in line is Yankee Stadium, and then you're off to Phoenix to play, in a baseball stadium and all that stuff. So you really want to position for the Florida game, a bowl game in Florida. And so you win that. You're the only team with 7 wins. Everyone behind you is 6 or fewer. A couple of teams are Nebraska, Wisconsin, some others, USC. You're going to be fighting to get bowl eligible at all. And then you blew the game. And the disheartening part is now you're just stuck in the middle of the pack. You're now with Illinois. You're now with Iowa. You're now with, whoever else might win between Wisconsin and Nebraska in 2 weeks. And as we've seen in the past, Minnesota gets passed over often by those teams. So instead of separating yourself, you've just put yourself in the middle of this muck and doing it against a pretty mediocre Rutgers team that was without their best player by far. Their best player by far is their running back. He's one of the best running backs in the country. They didn't have him, and they still lost the game. So just a disheartening, disappointing loss.
Gerdsey credited the offensive line with a lot of it. Is that the fair?
Yeah, it was not a good performance by the offensive line. They got, particularly in the fourth quarter, there were a couple of plays where they just got bull rushed. They got a safety, and there were a couple of handoffs where basically the defensive linemen are just tackling in the end zone or tackling in the backfield. And then they forced a turnover. The key, there were 2, I thought, turning point plays in the game. The Gopher tight end Jamison Gears fumbled at the 13-yard line to set up a short field. That's the only offense Rutgers had in the second half. The defense basically shut Athan and those guys out for the second half. They gave him the ball on the 13-yard line. He threw another jump ball. I thought it should have been offensive pass interference. They call it on Minnesota, so it becomes 1st and goal from the 2. They score. That's really their only offense of the second half, other than what the defense produced with another safety and then later in a field goal. So it was, the offensive line failed multiple times, particularly in the fourth quarter. Yeah, just a head scratching loss, given how much yardage that team had given up in the previous 5 games, and Minnesota just could not string much together, and had been playing pretty well offensively. And now Penn State get a week off this Saturday, no game, and then hopefully maybe they respond the way Rutgers did after its bye week and come out.
Now, do you go on some some guy's trip this week again? Or just
I'd love
staying
to.
home?
There's a Gopher men's basketball game on Saturday.
Work.
So, no days off for this guy.
Close one on Saturday, right? Gopher basketball.
Was.
That got close.
It did. Yeah, it was close the whole way. In fact, Minnesota trailed much of it against Omaha.
Yikes.
So we have a game on Wednesday night, North Texas, and then Yale comes to town on Saturday.
Oh, hell yeah.
$2 glizzy night on Wednesday.
What?
Wow. It's a $2 glizzy night on Wednesday. $2 hot dogs.
At the game, or
Yeah.
you just offer?
At the game. So go down there.
All right, I got to hear this quote.
We got to play it when we come back.
All right. Sounds good.
It's just wonderful. It's going to be
You're already smiling.
Power Trip history
All right.
is what it is.
That good, huh?
All right.
That's next. Ben Lieber in like 10 minutes. This is The Fan.
The Fan.
The Fan.
All right. So here we go. It's the Power Trip Morning Show at 6:25. The Vikings won. No touchdowns, 4 field goals, 12-7 win.
You can win a game many, many ways.
You certainly can. I mean, look at the Detroit Lions.
It's the great Jerry
How about
Burns
that?
once said on 4 field goals. His great meltdown, Jerry Burns' great meltdown, was I think a 4 or 5 field goal game by Rick Carlos.
And they won, right? That's
And
the
they won
beauty
it,
of that
yeah.
rant is
Yeah.
they won that game.
Well, he was at. Remember, he's like, "You won this game, right?" He goes, "I think so."
Yeah.
I mean, if Anderson just lifts his feet up, that's my favorite all time.
yeah, it's so good.
Great
Oh, my
rant.
God.
He's
That's
like, "You can
so
win a
much
game
cursing.
many ways, many ways."
Yeah,
And
the
then right at
Lions.
the end, his walk off when he's all done with everything, and then he just goes, "Effers," and walks off.
That sounds right.
It's the best.
It was awesome.
The Lions won despite Jared Goff throwing 5
I didn't
interceptions.
watch a game. I
I
saw
didn't
the
either, but-
stat up there. Holy
And
cow.
it looked like the Vikings were going to do the same, right? Because it looked like Darnold had thrown 4 or 5,
Yes.
but it ended up being just 3 because of the penalties. But they win 12-7.
Did you guys think that interception in the end zone was not an interception?
I thought it hit the ground.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Cam
we...
Bynum's?
No,
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
one
Oh, yeah,
against us.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
How did they uphold
I don't
that?
understand.
Yeah.
The referees yesterday were out of their
Terrible.
minds. And I'm not even saying they were against us. I'm saying
Yeah, it
it
was
seemed
all
they
the
didn't
way
know their
around.
job.
Terrible.
It seemed they didn't know their job. Do you know how many times they had to be reversed from, like they would make a call on the field and the NFL would go, "Hey, idiot.
Yeah.
That's not right."
What do they call the whatever they call quick
Replay assist.
Replay assist.
I've never seen an NFL game with as much replay assist as that
Couldn't
one.
believe it.
Those guys
Yeah.
were atrocious.
Yeah.
But now it's so frequent. Think if you're a head coach and you see a play that is missed or a call that is missed, and you're waiting to throw the challenge flag because you're like, well, replay assist is going to take care of this.
Right.
I don't like the gray area of how do we know when
100%.
replay
I've
assist
said-
is going to help and when they're not going to
I've
help.
said forever they need to quit with their they need to do it like college does it. Just let it be buzzed in. Like NFL coaches have enough on their plate to worry whether should I burn it. He burned a challenge on a 4-yard gain yesterday on an absolute clear catch.
Right.
Like that should have been
The
a replay
Josh Oliver
assist.
catch?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Great one-handed catch, by the way.
Why are we leaving that up
Excellent
to a head
catch.
coach to decide? Because I could see him saying, "God, 4 yards, is it worth burning the challenge? Because I might need it." And who knows what the jackass upstairs is going to look at and see. He might see this thing in the end zone and not overturn the interception. Just do it like the college. Buzz in, get it. Take that off the coach's plate. Why should they have to worry about whether, God, strategically here is 4 yards worth it to burn? Do I not?
No, you're right.
They've got enough on the plate,
Especially when
it
they don't
works
see the
flawlessly
replay,
in
right?
College.
Like
they
you
don't
said,
see it.
they are relying on somebody upstairs.
And then on top of it, then you do on occasion buzz it in. Well, what is replay assistable and what isn't?
Right.
And why would a coach then have to worry about it? That basically the college system is replay assist all the time. Coaches can call a timeout and challenge. They're kind of stupid if they do because sometimes they'll do it if a team knows it's iffy and they'll run up to the line of scrimmage and try to get the play off first. The coach will call a timeout. But there's no use to ever challenge in college. It's usually buzzed in. And it's sometimes a quick assist. Sometimes they do under the hood. Does it make the game longer a little bit? I think college games are maybe 8 minutes or 12 minutes longer than NFL games on average. But some of that's halftime is 8 minutes longer too. Right. So anyway, I've never liked the NFL replay system. Like why the coaches have enough to worry about.
I didn't
just buzz in.
I didn't
Buzz
see
in,
the
call it
second
a day.
half because my
Get the call right.
kiddo was we were at a gymnastics meet. My kiddo was competing. But I was listening to it on the old AirPods while I was watching her do her thing. And man, did Pete sound pissed about the officials?
Yeah.
Man,
It was terrible.
Pete lost his mind like 6 times. Like, what are they doing? Like, Pete. They all complain about officiating a little bit, but Pete just seemed to have
Even the
enough
first
yesterday.
interception was probably interference. That bounces off. He's like pulling down on Jefferson's having to make a one-handed catch because his arm is basically being tugged on his right arm, and let's just let the interference interference go so we can have an interception. And then the other one that went for Minnesota for a minute, like, how are you not calling the quarterback down on Blake Cashman's return?
Right.
He's down. He's starting to get up.
I know.
And they, let's let it run. And I get it. You want to let it run out just in case. But he was so down.
Yeah,
it wasn't even a question. Like, what
Yeah.
are we watching? Are you even watching the game? It was terrible. It was brutal.
It almost feels like the officials realize that they are they're being so hyper analyzed that they're kind of lost.
Yeah.
They're second guessing everything they do.
Yeah.
Because everything they do is being reviewed, and I just think they seem to be I don't know, hypersensitive to everything. I've never seen a game called so poorly for both sides. It wasn't like I thought this is a home team, home cooking.
Exactly.
It was just bad officiating.
It was really bad.
Yeah, and then even Dean Blandino was like, I don't know how they upheld that interference or the interception.
The interception, I still don't understand.
I don't
that.
either.
And that's a huge swing in that game.
No doubt about it.
But this was a huge swing in the game. Grimm. What was the line again? Do you remember, Saucy?
All this. It's all this from a slice of gabagool.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what it's supposed to be.
That's what it's supposed to be.
And it's 3rd and 7 here for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. And again, they hustle up. They don't sub, so Zaquan Bryant comes in late, and they fire it out. They caught the Gophers. Oh, and they dropped it. They caught the Gophers in a late sub, and dropping the pass was Dymere Miller. Would have been a first down. Rutgers knew what they were doing there. They didn't sub, so they hustled to the line of scrimmage while Minnesota subbed a third down package, and the Gophers were not ready.
Right, and trying to create chaos on the defensive side, they create a little bit of chaos on their own with the guy, even though he knew he was open.
Yeah.
Got the ball out there early. Ethan did a nice job, put the ball on him, and unfortunately for Rutgers, he dropped it.
Yeah, all of that for a slice of gobble-a-goo. Here's a kick on the end over end, comes to Parrish backpedaling, makes a catch with his thumbs inward, and goes down right there. There were all Rutgers players around.
Gobble-a-goo.
Oh, yeah, all of that for a slice of gobble-a-goo. Gobble-a-goo. Yes. Gobble-a-goo. 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 Yeah. Gobble-a-goo.
Close.
Unbelievable. I watched that segment at least 10 times on Friday just to make sure, because there was an accent or where you put the emphasis. Because when you emailed it to me, Hockey, what was it again?
Gabagool.
Gabagool. But it's not. But it's the way he said it is gabagool. So I practiced. I watched that thing at least 10 times, and then I come up with put an L in there. I took the L. I put the L in there.
You meat sauced it.
And then I meat sauced it.
Gobble-a-goo.
And then Daryl, I looked over because it's in the middle of a punt now. So I said it, and then they punt, and then I look over, and he I think he's now just spaced it out. He had no reaction. He didn't even know that I said.
But what does it say about Daryl that when you say it right, he normally has nothing to say and is confused, but when you botch it, he acts like nothing happened.
Gobble-a-goo.
Yeah, that was very normal to him that you said gobble-a-goo.
Up. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, all of that for a slice of gobble-a-goo.
All right, well,
So
I think you need a week off as well.
I need Well,
we'll regroup for Penn State.
It went with the theme of the day. Everyone was just a little off.
Everybody was a little they were knee deep in the
gobble-a-goo.
Been there.
Oh, man.
Right. Remember, you're the best, dude. Thanks,
we
man.
We had people tweeting saying you didn't quite get it. Yeah, thanks for letting me know.
Just a bit outside.
That was great.
Ben Lieber is here. We'll do some wild news when we get back, and of course, some what really matters. But basically, it'll be a Vikings recap with Ben Lieber of the Vikings Entertainment /Radio Network /Twin Cities Live. That's next after this on the Fan.
And gobble-a-goo to you all.
The Fan.
Gobble-a-goo.
Want to chime in on what's happening with your favorite KFAN program? Make your voice heard on the Bradshaw and Bryant text line. Let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard message and data rates apply.
All right, Ben Lieber's here. Let's talk Vikings in a second. But first, wild news presented by our friends at Catalyst and CatalystSupplyCo.com. Thanks, Catalyst. Zachary, you were tweeting last night that it looked like it was going to be a shutout. Chicago had the Wild down 1-0, and the Wild couldn't generate any offense. But they got a late goal to force overtime. They lose in overtime 2-1, but they steal at least a point.
Yeah, they didn't have it last night. The positive is they got 5 out of a potential 6 points on the road trip, so that's good. But yeah, that was a tough one. Matt Boldy looked all right. Everybody else looked okay, but
Did you think he looked okay?
nobody really had their game 100%. But
I thought that maybe they came out a little flat.
other than maybe Gus.
I like old Gussie, Gus. Hey, Gus Grissom, you're talking about the astronaut?
So if you're looking for the catalyst of the game, you throw a little Boldy in there. This is terrible.
Yeah.
If you're looking for
No, so bad.
So,
It's
Zach,
completely gone on Saturday.
Zach, remind us again who the catalyst of the game is.
I didn't hear what Tom Reed said, and Fulness doesn't do his job anymore.
Wow.
I was just saying it was probably Zach Parisi.
So, hey, they're talking about on the TV.
I mean, so Boldy scored the goal, right? Let's assume he was the catalyst of the game.
Oh, that's his primary.
All right, what's next for the Wild? What do they got next?
Canadiens, Montreal on Thursday.
Jesus, you sound like a cartoon villain.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough of that.
Yeah, nice
Hi,
job.
Ben.
Well done,
Hi,
Ben.
guys. What's up?
Ben, do you?
I quite enjoyed that.
Do you agree with Chris that I believe he said earlier that the Jacksonville Stadium is the underbelly of a porta potty in Washington after the 4th of July?
Yeah, maybe
It's
not.
that bad.
Maybe that not that descriptive, but yes.
Yes.
It was
Terrible.
It's weird because the outside of the stadium sucks. It's like, what is this place? Like this is like something from 1854. But you get inside it, and I don't know. It's like
It's when the pyramids were built.
Yeah. Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that.
the inside is actually fine. It seems kind of cool. I like their little party deck. I enjoyed their on-field suites. So once you get inside, it's not that bad.
But
everything else is just not good.
okay.
Yeah, it's.
Well,
I mean, there's a
moving
reason
to
why
London.
they're renovating the whole thing.
Ben, do
Yeah.
you remember a young man who took a NFL draft visit to Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Do you remember what that young man told me as an adult yesterday?
Yeah, it was the worst. It was the worst. So it was one of my pre-draft visits, and they flew me into Jacksonville, and you do it's basically like a college tour. And I remember even thinking at the time, boy, this place is a dump. and it was Tom Coughlin and his staff that brought me in, and they brought me into it felt like a classroom, like a true just like a school classroom with like desks and all this other stuff. And they sit me down sort of front and center. They all sat, Tom and I don't even know who they were. Obviously, front office people, coaching staff, probably eight gentlemen sat in front of me in a row at basically a long table. And they just grilled me with questions for, I don't know, it seemed like an eternity. I was sweating through it. Tom Coughlin just sat there with no expression, was not personable, was not engaging, was not somebody that you felt like, man, I got a real bond with this guy. Like, we really connected. It was a freaking interrogation. And I'm so happy that I bombed it. And they did not feel like they needed to select me in the draft. And I did not get selected by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Thank God.
No regrets that was 3 albums in for Limp Bizkit. That was $3 Bill, y'all, Significant Other, and Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog flavored water. And you would have arrived right after that and had access to all 3 albums in Jacksonville.
Yep. It's worth it that I didn't go there,
I mean, because my guess is there were people that wanted to get drafted by the Vikings in the 80s just to be close to Prince.
Sure.
My guess is it's the same thing.
Has to be.
Has to be.
I mean, it has to be.
Similar.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to Prince, but man, that was right during the Biscuit baby boom.
Yeah.
You would have had a lot more than 3 kids.
Yeah.
A lot more.
You would have a great
how many
taste
with how
in
many
music.
women do you think?
I mean, that's up to you. I
How many
guess.
you want?
All of them?
Yeah. I mean, it'd be weird if I had 3 kids with 5 women, but the math wouldn't math. But
I mean, in Jacksonville, I would bet it would.
Math don't math in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Unless it was like conjoined twins or something.
Yeah.
I actually had sort of, I don't know about you, Hawk. I had sort of higher hopes for what the downtown area would be.
Oh my gosh!
It's all strip malls.
I didn't
It's a
even see
dump.
that. I didn't see
that.
it.
Yeah, I didn't
That
see the strip
bad.
malls.
That bad.
There was a time when I would go out and have some fun on a Saturday night in the cities. I'd be like, I'm in lovely downtown bloppity blah. Let's go see what this place is like. Saturday night, I door-dashed ice cream and was asleep by 9.
Meat sauce.
Man, that
Yeah.
sounds
That sounds
great.
like you in Vegas.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never. Yeah.
Well, I would not trust door dashing ice cream.
yeah.
No,
Did it show up pretty melted or
I was
not?
pretty pissed off. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a soup by the time.
Yeah, that's my point.
But I needed ice cream, and there was literally no place to go.
Why?
I don't know why.
Well, this is the one thing that threw me off on yesterday morning. Is like I always like to go get a coffee that's not at the hotel,
Right.
and just get a little walking in. It can be 10, 15 minute, 20-minute walk. Like in Los Angeles, I think I had to walk 30 minutes to go get a coffee. Like I just want to stretch the old legs out. And boy, every coffee place that looked like it was a fun, decent, hip, coffee joint closed.
Yeah.
Closed. I'm like, what is open on a Sunday morning in Jacksonville? Apparently nothing, because they're all inside office buildings.
Yeah.
They don't have there's not standalone businesses. They're all inside office buildings.
And obviously, the feel of the city carried over and affected our football team.
I guess so.
At least our offense.
Yeah, at least their offense. Boy, their offense just wasn't very. Surprisingly, their offense wasn't better than I expect. Now, obviously, our defense had something to do with that, but they got some players over there. I mean, they barely even targeted Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing? Why don't you target your, super stud rookie?
He had 2 catches for 12 yards.
Yeah.
Sounds like Chris in the Charge Challenge.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
the hell
it's
is
over.
going
What
on?
happened with that?
I keep getting the last pick or the next last pick, so I don't have a choice. And I got DJ Moore.
During the break, Hawk, Grimm was asking us about it, and he said he saw a couple of tweets that people that he knows in Chicago were tweeting. I think DJ Moore is running 70% on every route.
Because he doesn't care.
He doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, that's great.
That team's falling apart.
Yeah,
People are going to get fired. Anyway, let's go back to the old purple.
What
though,
about our
Benjamin.
squad?
12-7, Ben. They get out of there with 4 Parker Romo kicks.
Yeah.
I guess we dropped the John this week.
That's okay. You get concerned about names. I don't know why.
I just don't know. All of a sudden, it's John Parker Romo all summer long.
Yeah.
And then he kicks, and the John disappears.
Right. Yeah. Well, he got rid of his pimp.
It's like it's like political talking points. The John just disappears, and everybody's on board with, now he's Parker. All right. 4 for 4, though, for the kid. A lot of yards for the Vikings, just some terrible interceptions in the red zone. Obviously, but look, they were moving the ball, just could not put it in the end zone. So how do you walk away from this? It's a win, but how do you walk away from this with positivity moving forward? What did you like, despite the 5-point win?
You have to like the fact that we ran the ball effectively. Where was there huge, big chunk explosive runs? Not really to my recollection. I mean, we just sort of, it was a little mechanical in the way that we just ran, but we churned them out. I think our running backs had almost 150 yards. I mean, if you take away the scramble yards that Darnold had, I think we were right around the 150 mark, which is great between our 2 running backs. So that's always a positive. I think I'm like everybody else, disappointed with how we didn't finish a lot of those drives. How I heard you guys talk about it, how we seem to force the ball down the field to Justin Jefferson. At least by my calculations, that's now the 4th interception in the last 2 games where we forced the ball to JJ. And this predetermining of where he wants to go with the football, it's not something that I can explain. Obviously, it's something that Sam can maybe talk about, KOC can talk about. I'm guessing that no, that's not necessarily the case. Of course that he is, on some plays the number 1 target, but there are other people and they rep all that stuff. But it seems like with the naked eye that it is a stare down on some of those plays of I'm going to Justin. I'm waiting for all these other complementary routes to open up and pull guys away. But then it doesn't happen, and he just throws the ball in there. The one that The slant pass that he threw to JJ just seemed like, it's a good defensive play for that guy you typically trust your receiver in those situations to gain the leverage that they're supposed to get in that slant. And it's like, okay, well, Justin always wins those. I'm just going to throw to the spot. And he got burned on that one. The others, like, why are you forcing the ball down the field?
I know they're 7-2, but if JJ McCarthy was healthy, do you think there'd be people saying, look, this team's 7-2, but this is going the wrong way with the quarterback, and we need somebody in there? Obviously, the Steelers were a winning team with Justin Fields, but they still switched to Russell Wilson. That's going from a younger quarterback to a vet. This would be a vet to a rookie. But do you think that would have been a conversation with, obviously, the fans would have been talking about it, but do you think that the Vikings would have even considered it at this point?
I really don't. And the reason I say that is because if J.J. McCarthy were healthy and he has not played this whole time, we still don't know what we have out of him. Now, he would have played in another preseason game. We would have saw the reps there. But again, we all understand that those are preseason games. If there was a known asset that was behind Sam Darnold that we knew for sure that was just a breath of fresh air and could actually do the quarterbacking the way that you want it to be done, then I would say, yeah, I think that's probably in consideration. We have a great thing going. We just need to find somebody that can be efficient and not give the ball and not give the game away. But I think in this situation, if McCarthy were healthy, you're going to go to an unknown commodity. I don't think that we're at a stage at 7-2 to go into a situation where, like, I'm going to put this 7-2 team in the hands of somebody that we have no idea how they're going to perform.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would say no. You're going to ride with this guy until he either gets injured or just the wheels truly, truly fall off.
From a radio perspective, though, it would have been elite because it would have been the all-time quarterback controversy talker. Even if it had no base in reality, it would have been like, we should make the switch. And the Vikings might have been rolling their eyes going, we're not switching. We're 7-2. But it definitely would have been heating up the last couple of weeks as Darnold has continued to struggle, and they keep finding ways to win.
Well, and the other issue, Ben, is next week. I know Tennessee isn't that good, but that secondary is pretty good, right? So the team's terrible. Levis is terrible, but that secondary is legit in Tennessee.
Well, I don't think that anybody at any point in time can you look at any team in the league and say this is going to be a cakewalk. Some of those things just happen in the course of a game, but you don't know that until you start playing the game. You look at Jacksonville with a backup quarterback, and you look at every single metric, everything that you look at on paper, even watch the film. And you're like, this is a bad football team with some good individual parts, but overall, this is a bad football team with their head coach being on the cusp of probably getting fired. They have what are they playing for? On paper, we should have walked away with this with a 17-point win. But that's why you play the games, and that's why you got to show up, and that's why you can't assume that you're going to walk in there and just beat these guys down, because it is about matchups, and something about the matchup that we had against them, we could not throw the football on them, down the field. It felt like a true like Leslie Frazier cover 2. Just bend but don't break. We'll make a play in the red zone, and that's exactly the way they approached it. And that seems to be the way that these teams are approaching Sam Darnold. We'll throw in a few blitzes to keep him honest, but we're going to play coverage in the back end and just let him try to decipher and anticipate where to throw the ball into some of these cloudy windows, and we're just going to jump these routes, and it's working.
Yeah. So what do we do to counter that? How do we make it better?
I wish I had the answer.
Yeah.
We talked about it, and I was talking about it even during the game, is that I thought that to get those two high safeties away from just roving in the middle of the field is to start using more of the sideline type of routes, whether they're out routes, even just hitting some deep vertical, finding some one-on-one situations. And the thing that Justin's so good at is those 50-50 balls. And if you throw a deep shot down the sideline on a 50-50 ball, most likely that's an interception that I can handle. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like, okay, defender got high pointed the ball, fought for it, came down with it. But when you throw over the middle to a guy that you seemingly don't see, you're like, what are we doing here? Mm-hmm. Or you force the ball with a clear defender underneath, like, what are we doing here? I thought that's the approach. And we had the Jordan Addison, I think, early third quarter. He had a deep out route. And it's like, okay, I think this is what we should be. That's the adjustment we should be making at halftime. Well, we didn't really continue to go back to that well. We just like kind of did the same sort of thing and just like dink and dunked, ran the football and tried to get down and score. And it just didn't materialize.
By the way, talking to Cashman, I meant to ask you this when we were done doing the interview and I forgot. Is it normal for a defensive coordinator to go to his defense and add 5 plays during halftime?
I mean, that's a lot, but especially when he was saying it's things that we haven't done in a while.
How about that?
And they haven't repped in a while. It obviously must be in their base playbook, something that it's probably a group of plays that they build off of for other situations. And he's just like, let's just go back to those 5 plays. And he mentioned that they were all simulated pressures, and so obviously it worked. I mean, it was very smart of him to entrust his defense to go like, we're going to add these 5 plays and we're going to hope that you guys can execute them perfectly. And the nice thing is they are simulated pressures. So all you really have to know is like, okay, where's my initial alignment? What am I bluffing? And then what coverage are we in? And the coverages aren't, they don't differ that much from like a cover 2 is a cover 2. If you're bluffing X, Y, and Z, but ultimately you have to get back to a cover 2, you know how to play that. So it sounds maybe more complicated than it is, but it does seem pretty aggressive that he was like, I'm throwing 5 of these suckers in there at halftime, and we're just going to rep these in the game with no practice reps. So bold move, Cotton. Bold move.
It worked. Our defense was stifling. Stifling.
Yeah. I don't know. Offensively, going back to it, we had 12 catches, 124 yards by our tight ends. I mean, that's if things aren't working down the field, then you have to find ways to be productive. And it seems like the last couple of weeks, we're leaning on our tight ends with Josh Oliver all of a sudden now is a pass catching.
Yeah, how about that?
Down the field threat. Hopefully, again, that pays dividends down the road as far as the season goes of like how to prepare for this team. Like, okay, we got these 2 pretty dynamic wide receivers on the outside. You got to stop Aaron Jones at the backfield. And oh boy, we have 2 tight ends now that we have to think about. And one guy he'll chip at the line of scrimmage and be a slow, late release off the line of scrimmage sometimes. So everybody, good luck out there.
All right, let's come back. We'll do the news. A lot of more Vikings conversation between now and 9 o'clock. Muss will be here in a little bit. Don't forget Jonathan Grenard tomorrow too.
Yeah.
That guy continues to just be all over the place, man.
Good.
Van Ginkel's everywhere. Cashman's everywhere. Grenard's everywhere. Defense was great. Just
Johnny Cash has been everywhere.
Yeah. Well, he
get the ball in the end zone. But I guess we didn't need it. It's the Jags. The news is next. This is the Power Trip Morning Show with Ben Lieber on the Fin.
The Fan.